Good morning, VC. It's Glenn Calloway coming from the basement. How are you today? It's Friday, Good Friday in Canada. Is it Good Friday all around the world? I guess it is. I don't know. Sorry, I'm not a religious guy. I don't know. I can't keep track of these things. Um, this is a contest entry for my friend from Mexico City, John, JC Rock and Metal Reviews. John's got a great channel, and he's a really, really good guy. I'm going to incorporate two different things in this video. I want to do the contest first, and then after that, I've won a couple of contests recently, and I want to show my winnings. And one of them was from a recent contest John had. So I'm kind of bookending John in this video. John's 300 subscriber contest. Please, if you don't know JC's rock and metal reviews, go check him out. He's pretty good. Big Zeppelin fan. Hey, how can you dislike a guy who likes Zeppelin? So John's asked us to show 3 consecutive albums. I saw a video the other day from Robert Hagerman. Robert's on my turntable doing his Jackson Browne albums. So I'm a huge Jackson Browne fan. As a matter of fact, I consider Jackson Browne, I rank songwriters, singer-songwriters, I guess, if you want to call it that, put them in that category. I rank Jackson Browne third behind Paul Simon and Bob Dylan. I think Jackson Browne is just, he's got a way with words, man. He can come up with a lyric, and they're always beautiful, deep, emotional, thought-provoking. Like he really is a wordsmith. And the musicianship is great. I love that kind of folky rock style. The second album, when he started playing with David Lindley, I mean, that's where I just lost it and just couldn't get enough. So Jackson's first album is Saturate Before Using. Well, it's actually called Jackson Browne, but it says Saturate Before Using on there, and everybody refers to this album as Saturate Before Using, but it's actually Jackson Browne, self-titled. This album is, like I said, his first, and he had a hit off this album called Doctor My Eyes. Now, for me, Doctor My Eyes was the first time I'd heard of Jackson Browne. I didn't particularly dislike the song or like the song. I just, it was just a song you hear on the radio, and never paid any attention to it. But then my cousin Dennis brought this album over one day for me. He said, "You got to check this out. This is Jackson's second album, For Every Man." And from the first note, I just went, this is incredible. First of all, Jackson's version of Take It Easy starts the album, which he co-wrote with Glenn Frey. Then the album just flows from one song to the other with this beautiful acoustic and slide guitar from David Lindley, and every song just kind of flows together, and the album is just, oh my God, it's mesmerizing, hypnotizing, mesmerizing. It's every kind of icing that you can think of. Jackson Browne, For Every Man, and a great cover. But this has, I mean, he has Sneaky Pete Kleino playing pedal steel. Who else is on this? Well, David Lindley, Jim Keltner playing drums, Don Henley doing some harmonies. I know there's a few more here. And then he does his version. It's funny, he wrote a song called These Days, which is one of my favorite Jackson Browne songs. It's the last song on side 1 on this album. And Gregg Allman did a version of it. And I think Jackson changed his version. I've never heard the way he would have originally envisioned the song to go, but he was really inspired by Gregg Allman, and the arrangement was inspired by Gregg Allman. It's Greg Allman's version on Laid Back is beautiful. We also have Glenn Frey playing on this album. Lee Sklar playing bass, a great bass player, Lee Sklar. Bonnie Raitt doing harmonies. Now, I saw Jackson after this album came out at Massey Hall in Toronto. He was the headliner, and Bonnie Raitt was the opening act. And it was a great, great show. David Lindley, oh, just sweet, so good. And at the end of the show, Bonnie Raitt came out, and they did for an encore. They did "Your Love Keeps Taking Me Higher and Higher." Oh man, they just had everybody rocking. It was so good. Um, who else is on? I thought Michael Utley, who plays a lot with Jimmy Buffett, is on here playing keyboards. Joni Mitchell played electric piano on "Sing My Songs to Me," and for every man, David Crosby does the harmony on the lead track, which is just beautiful. It ends with the last two songs, "Sing My Songs to Me," and then it flows right into the title track, "For Every Man." And at the end of "For Every Man," David Lindley plays this sweet guitar that I wish would go on for a half an hour. It goes on for about 15 seconds, 20 seconds as the song fades out, and it's just so beautiful. I love it. So anyway, falling in love with this album, then went back and got this one, and then went nuts for this one. I didn't realize "Doctor My Eyes" is a great, great song, and this has such beautiful songs on it. "Jamaica Say You Will," "Song for Adam" is incredible. From Silver Lake, "Something Fine," "Under the Falling Sky," "Looking Into You" is beautiful. "Rock Me on the Water" is a great song, and "My Opening Farewell." This is a fantastic record. Clarence White plays on this record, one of the great guitarists of all time, who played with the Byrds and was really the man who invented lead guitar in bluegrass music. Who else is on here? I wonder if anybody else. Albert Lee plays electric guitar in one of the songs. Jesse Ed Davis, another great guitarist. Lee Kunkel. David Crosby does some harmonies on here. Great record. Now, what I think musically, "For Every Man," I think is his greatest album. Lyrically, you can't top this. It is amazing. Amazing record. This record is just so emotional and so great cover too. Another great cover. Man, "Late for the Sky," "Fountain of Sorrow," which I think is about his relationship with Joni Mitchell. "Farther On," "The Late Show." Beautiful songs, and they're all kind of the same, I would say, the same tempo and everything. Very kind of not slow and prodding or anything. They're beautiful. They're just beautiful songs, and they all kind of have the same feel, and it really makes the side really special. Then "The Road in the Sky," it rocks up a bit, and then "Four Dancers," just a beautiful song about a friend who passes away. It's just a gorgeous, gorgeous song. And "Walking Slow," another one that kind of picks up, and then "Before the Deluge," which is kind of about the end of the world, and then people, or the world being destroyed, and then people building it up again. And beautiful song. What was the Eagles? Don Henley answered that song with his, they called it "Paradise, I don't know why." That song off of, I don't know, I think it's off of Hotel California. That was kind of inspired by Jackson's "Before the Deluge." He still kept mostly his same band through this. David Lindley, Doug Hayward, and Jackson plays piano and acoustic guitar on the album. Beautiful, beautiful record. So that's my contest entry. John, I hope you appreciated it. And please, everyone, subscribe to JC's rock and metal reviews. Now, I've been pretty lucky boy. I won 2 contests like right away. Nuts. The stuff was finally came in. John's prize came in about a week or so ago, and I apologized to him that I hadn't shown it yet. I meant to show it on my weekly wrap up, and I totally forgot. But what John does, if you watch his videos, behind him he has a wall where he does his own artwork, and his art is always inspired by album covers or poses by certain musicians or whatever like that. And he kind of does his little rendition of whatever the subject is, and some kind of a colored pencil thing, I think. Excuse me if I'm wrong about what you're using there, but it looks like a pencil drawing to me. I won his contest and was given the opportunity to pick anything off the wall behind him. And being a Pink Floyd fan, I noticed that he had the Division Bell back there, and I asked him to send me that, and he did. And it's really pretty. It's really nice. Look at that. I think it deserves a frame, which is coming. And John, I thank you for that. Very cool. Look at it's so nice. Look at the detail in the ground, and beautifully done. I really love this. This is kind of a personal thing, right, rather than a record. So very nice. Thank you, John. And everyone enter his contest. JC's rock and metal reviews. Next, my friend Brian in Seattle. Braintwang. He's got a great channel. One of my favorite channels and one of my favorite guys in the VC. Brian had a contest going on for about a month where you had like 4 contests running simultaneously, and you could enter them all or you could enter one, whatever you wanted to do. They all had different themes, and I entered them all, being a guy with absolutely nothing to do with too much time on his hands. Yeah, I was fortunate enough to win. It was funny. I had more names in the hat than anyone else, because you got to, for every one you did, and then there was ways to earn bonus thing, and I think like a lot of people had like 1 or 2 entries in, and I had like 8 or something. It was ridiculous how much I outnumbered all the other contestants. And he had 5 prizes to pull, and he pulls the first 4, and he didn't pull my name at all. I'm going, man, oh man, like my name must be the only one left in the hat. And he got to the 5th one, and he pulled my name. So we got our choices of CDs. So the people who were picked ahead of me got their choices first. There was like quite a few CDs there to choose from. I had my eye on this one right from the start, and I was lucky enough to get it. Was Robert Johnson, The Complete Recordings, 2 CD set. I love having this. And after I won it, my friend Chris at Blues Guy Vinyl sent me a vinyl issue of this as VCLT. So now I have the CDs and the vinyl, which I love having both, because sometimes I'm in a CD mood and sometimes I'm in a vinyl mood. So, mostly I play CDs. My dog, I don't know if anybody can answer this question. My dog is afraid of records. If I play it, he sits downstairs with me all day. He's my shadow. And then in the afternoon after lunch, I start playing music. And if I go to play a record, as soon as the needle hits the turntable, hits the record on the turntable, he is gone upstairs like a shot. I don't know if there's a high-pitched sound that comes out of a record or something, but I'm telling you, he will not, he's scared of it. If I put on a CD, he'll stay downstairs with me all day. All day. And then there's one record, I think it's Beck's song, Where It's At, 2 turntables and a microphone. I think at the start of that song, it's the sound of a needle hitting a vinyl record. And he hears that and he runs upstairs. So there's something going on with that sound. I don't know what it is. It's very strange. But anyway, that's the first things I got. Hold on, there's more. My first Jayhawks album. I don't own any Jayhawks. Listen to this. I've really not paid any attention to the Jayhawks, and I know my friend Shannon's a big fan. I know other people talk about them. So this was my first exposure. This is How am I going to describe it? I liked it. I found it was really polished. I was expecting a bit more raw, and I'm not sure if that's because this is the album or all their album songs are like that. The harmonies are all perfect and everything, much like much like the Eagles, kind of like, not sound wise musically, but just the way that it's, they try and make a perfect record, and I always like a bit of I don't know, just like I like the way Dylan does it. It's like just it's a bit raw. Lucinda, Steve Earle, they just have a bit of rawness to it that just gives it an edge. And I found this a bit too polished, but the songs are great and they're a great band. So happy to have it. These two albums are albums that I've been known about. My cousin Paul, who I talk about, he was a big Billy Bragg fan, and I know he had everything by Billy Bragg, and I never paid much attention to it. And Mazzy, I know, has shown a lot of Billy Bragg. He's a big fan, and Shannon's a big fan of Wilco. So I had the opportunity to pick these up. Billy Bragg and Wilco. I was blown away by this. This is freaking good. This is really good. Like, I am wondering why the hell I'm so late listening to this album. It's fantastic. And I also got Volume 2, which I haven't played yet. It is Woody Guthrie lyrics put to music by Jeff Tweedy and Billy Bragg. So Mermaid Avenue Volume 2. I'm interested in hearing that for sure. And Brian also put in his own CD that he made. Brian's a talented guy, songwriter, singer. And I've listened to the first disc, Brian, and I quite like it. Brian Straub, Cold Town. It's very cool. Look at that. He has guest musicians playing on it. Brian plays acoustic and electric guitar, some banjo, mandolin, and vocals. He has a gentleman playing keyboards and drums, bass player, a backing vocalist, fiddle on some of it, and dobro. It's Brian. I really like it. The first person that I thought of that it reminded me of in the feel is Townes Van Zandt. It sounds like he might have been an inspiration to you when you were writing and singing and arranging these songs. It kind of has that feel to me, like you'd fit right down in there with those singers down there with Guy Clark and Townes. But yeah, really good job, man. Really enjoying this. I'm sure if you're interested in a copy, you could probably get a hold of Brian, and he probably sells them for a couple of bucks or something. But check out Braintwang's channel if you're not a subscriber. He's awesome. Brian's just a great guy, very knowledgeable, loves roots music. He's just a big fan of like traditional country music and bluegrass and folk and yeah, and plus the Stones. I think the Stones are his favorite band. He's really eclectic. But anyway, this is pretty good. So I want to thank Brian at Braintwang and John at JC Rock and Metal Reviews. Hope everyone has a wonderful Good Friday. And peace out, everyone. We will talk soon.